gata sanmoha, taptu dasi tadoham. So chant this verse, beginning from practice.
Shri Shukovacha,
Shri Shukovacha,
Parasyanubhavatmanaha,
Parasyanubhavatmanaha, Bahurupaya Bhavati,
Mayaya Bahurupaya,
Mayaya Bahurupaya,
Ramamano Guneshwasya,
Ramamano Guneshwasya,
Mamaha
Mamaham Vidimanyate,
Yarhivavamahim Nisve,
Yarivavamahim Nisve,
Parasmin Kalamayo,
Parasmin Kamayo,
Prameta Gata Sammohas,
Rumeta Gata Samohas,
Syaktavodaste Tudobhayam,
Sarvadodasti Dovayam,
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartam,
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyatam,
Jad Bhagavan Ritam,
Jyadava Bhagavanvitam,
Brahmane Darshayan Rupam,
Brahmane Darshayan Rupam,
Avyalika Vrataditaha,
Avyalika Vitarataha.
Repeat this. Repeat this verse.
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyartam,
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyatam,
Yadaha Bhagavan Ritam,
Yadaha Bhagavanvitam,
Brahmane Darshayan Rupam,
Brahmane Darshayan Rupam,
Avyalika Vrataditaha,
Avyalika Vitarataha.
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyatam,
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyatam,
Yadaha Bhagavan Ritam,
Yadaha Bhagavanvitam,
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyatam,
Atma Tattva Vishuddhyatam,
Yadaha Bhagavan Ritam,
Yadaha Bhagavanvitam,
Yadaham Bhagavan Ritam,
Yadaha Bhagavanvitam,
Yadaham Bhagavan
Jat
Ritam,
aham, jat aha, jat
Yadaha
aha, jat aha,
Jadaha.
Yadaha Bhagavan Ritam,
Yadaha Bhagavanvitam,
Brahmane Darshayan Rupam,
Brahmane darshayan, darshayan. Brahmane darshayan rupam, abbalika brataditaha. One day.
Brahmane Darshanam Rupam,
Brahmane Darshayan Rupam,
Brahmane Darshanam Rupam,
Brahmane Darshayan Rupam,
Abbalika brataditaha.
Avyalika Vratadvitaha,
Avyalika Vitarataha.
You will try to follow the transcription because you do not know the Devanagari alphabet. So when there is chanting, you follow the transcription. Atmatattva Vishuddhyatam Jadaha Bhagavan Ritam Brahmane Darshan Rupam Abbalika Bhatadrita. So read every word, practice it. Get everyone.
Atma Chak.
Purification means that one will be able to see God face to face. That is purification. Just like in the sky, as soon as the cloud is moved, dissipated, you can see the sun immediately. This is the process. God is everywhere. Within and without. Oh, why he is not seen? Because our senses are not perfect. God is everywhere. They say, oh, why you are going to temple? God is everywhere, as if he has seen God. These rascals say like this. What is the use of going to temple? God is everywhere. Well, have you seen? No answer. Is it not? Sometimes they say.
Yes.
If God is everywhere, why not in the temple? These are the atheistic proposals. If God is everywhere, so why not in the temple? In the temple I can see God at least. The form of God, it is being worshipped, offered, prasadam. So there is a spiritual atmosphere. So why shall I not go to the temple? So, actually God is everywhere, it's a fact. But so long I am not purified, I have to see God as they are prescribed in the Shastra. Here, the deity is God. But because I have no power to see God, therefore I see, oh, it is made of wood, it is made of metal. That is my imperfection. But God is there also. God is everywhere, so God is here also. Why you are talking of metal and wood? From reasoning, argument. If God is everywhere, why not he is in the metal or wood? In your eyes it is metal, but we see God. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as soon as saw Jagannath, he fainted. Therefore, Vishuddhak, Atmatatmam Vishuddhak. So we have to learn how to purify our senses. Then we can see God everywhere. Premanjana churita bhakti vilotani, no? Brahmacharya. Premanjana churita. When we develop love of God, Prema Anjana, the ointment, just like we apply some ointment to the eyes to make it clear, our vision becomes clearer. Similarly, there is ointment which is called love of God. If we develop that love of God, so by that ointment, when our imperfect eyes will be clean, then we can see God. This is the process. Atma Tattvam. So Atma Tattvam Vishuddhartham. Atma Tattvam. Javanna Jijñāsata Atma Tattvam. So, the beginning of purification is first of all to understand what I am. Am I this body or something else? Atma Tattva. If we can understand myself, what I am, then I can understand God also. Or if I can understand God, then I can understand me also. Just like if you see the sun, you can see yourself. In the darkness, you cannot see yourself, neither the sun. That is called Atma, light. At night, darkness, dense darkness, you cannot see anything. I am walking in the dark, I cannot see my hands and legs, where I am going. I'm afraid whether I shall fall into some ditch. This is my position. Therefore it has to be purified. Atma tattam visuddhyatam. Jadhaha Bhagavan ritam. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality, as he said. So therefore we have to cleanse ourselves. Vishuddhatma, in order to clean, we have to hear from Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is coming out of his causeless mercy. He is coming to reveal himself, Krishna. It is like this. I am like this. You are like this. Both things. First beginning, Krishna said, you are not this body. Asatyan anusuta sam pragyavadan. Arjuna, you are talking like a very learned man, but you do not know what you are. Not this body or not this body. Why you are lamenting for this body, your body and your brother's body, your grandfather's body, your children's body, but you are not body. Therefore, the first chastisement, Krishna was accepted as spiritual master. A spiritual master has the right to chastise. Other spiritual masters, they are advised to chastise putram cha shishyam cha tarayat natu lalayat. So, father and teacher is advised by Chanakya Pandit that you should always chastise your son and disciple. Chastise. Tarat. Tarat means simply chastise. Always find out mistakes. Don't be angry. But it is the business of the teacher and the father simply to find out your mistakes, not to find out your good things. Tarat, not to lalayat. Lalayat means patting. Oh, my dear son, my dear. Why, you are so nice, you have done. Sometimes it is done, but it is the business of the teacher and the father to chastise. Never recognize the disciple's business or son's business as very good. Then they will spoil. That is the injunction of Chanakya. Lalane bahuvo dosha. If you simply pat, then there will be so many faults. Lalane bahuvo dosha. Dosha means fault. Tarane bahuva guna. And if you chastise, they will be very much qualified. Tarane bahuva guna. Tasma, therefore, putram cha sishyam cha tarayat nadu lalayat. Simply chastise. Don't pat. This is injunction, moral injunction. So far we are concerned, when our spiritual master used to chastise, we took it as blessing. That was very nice. And you chastise like anything. Damn, rascal, foolish, stupid, anything. All good words. One day it so happened that was not my fault. My another old god brother, who Prabhupada was speaking, so I was very much fond of hearing. That gentleman, he was a retired doctor. So he wanted to speak something. He should not have done so. But so naturally I also. And Prabhupada saw it and he became so angry. So he knew that my attention was drawn by him. He chastised me like anything. He was an old man. Actually, almost like his age. So he was paying 60 rupees on those days per month. So he became so angry that do you think that because you pay 60 rupees, you have purchased us. You can do anything and anything. He said like that. Very strong word he used. Do you think that I am speaking for others? You have learnt everything. You are diverting your attention. So many ways. He was very sad. So this is nice to chastise. Therefore, as soon as Krishna was accepted as Guru, Shishasti Ham Chadimam Prapannam, I become your disciple. Because in the beginning there was friendly talk. So friendly talks cannot make any good at all. Talks must be between the spiritual master, the teacher, and the disciple. So immediately, first I will chastise. Asatyanam suchastam pratgavadam savas. Arjuna, you are talking like a learned man, but you are a fool, number one. Gatasuna gatasuna nanu surutanti pandita. That means if you had been actually Pandit, learned man, then you would not have lamented for this body. Gatasuna. This body is neither the subject matter for lamentation, either living condition or dead condition. It has no value. This is Krishna's person. But the modern civilization, they are giving all values to this body. All their philanthropic work, hospitalization and so many things. Just like our Mr. George Harrison, he raised how many millions dollars for?
9 million. 9 million.
$9 million and today. This is going on. In the Bhagavad Gita, we don't find anywhere a single line that you raise fund for giving relief to the poor or to the suffering. Is there any instruction in the Bhagavad Gita? You have read? Can you find out? But these people have become more learned than Krishna. In our country, Vivekananda, Daridranarayan Seva, the whole Ramakrishna mission is collecting funds only on this rascal plea. One Swami Nikhilananda, he told me, now the Americans are questioning that you are raising funds for feeding the poor, but when you go to India, we see simply poor men. What you are doing with this money? Actually they are doing nothing. They are collecting money in the name of feeding the poor, and they are living just like royal style. You see? Eating all, everything. So, the Atma-tattva Vishuddha. So we should not be very much attached for the benefit of this body. We must purify. Atma-tattva. Atma is sometimes, in Sanskrit language, Atma is meant this body, the mind and the soul. So, Atma Tattva Visuddha, in order to find out what is pure Atma. Now, Atma is covered with the subtle body and the gross body. So, we should analyze whether this God body, gross body is Atma or the subtle body is Atma. So, they do not know, the modern civilization. The Karmis, they are accepting this gross body as Atma. The gross body as Atma. Or the subtle body, the Jnanis, they are accepting mind, intelligence as Atma. But Atma is above. Therefore we have to purify the idea of Atma Tattva. Atma Tattvam Visuddha. Atma Tattva Visuddhyatam Jada. So we have to hear from authority, from Bhagavan. Brahmane Darsana Rupam Abbadikam Bhataditaha. Because Brahma underwent great tapasya for hundreds of years. So, being pleased upon Brahma, Krishna, Lord Krishna, explained to him this Atma. So, Krishna is within. In the beginning of Bhagavad, Tene Brahma Rida, the darshan, when Brahma saw the form of the Lord, not exactly outside, but from within. And he educated him from within. Tene Brahma Rida. Rida means through the heart. He transmitted the knowledge, Bhagavad Tattva. And after understanding the Bhagavad Tattva, instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he wrote this Brahma Samhita. Chintamani Prakara Sadamasu Kalpa Vippala Vishishu Suravira Vipam. There are 100 chapters of Brahma Samhita. They are lost. Only the 5th chapter was found in a temple in a handwritten leaf. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected it and he gave it to his disciple that this Brahma Samhita is the summary of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Brahma learned what is Krishna, what is Bhagavan, from Bhagavan. So you have to learn also from Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is teaching himself to Arjuna, Krishna. And you try to understand as Arjuna understood, then you also directly learn what is taught by Krishna. Krishna was accepted by Arjuna. Parabrahma, Param Dhamam, Pavitram, Paramam Mama. You are Parabrahma, you are the Supreme Brahma. Param Dhamam, you are the rest of everything. Param Dhamam. Pavitram is the Supreme Pure. Paramam Bhava. Shastatam Purusham. You are Purusham, enjoyer. So these things were accepted by Arjuna. So if you simply accept as Arjuna accepted, then you also learn what is Bhagavan. Also spiritual. Localized Paramatma, that is also spiritual. And Bhagavan is. They are all spiritual, therefore all one. But according to my understanding, ultimately Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But because I cannot see, sometimes I realize as impersonal Brahma or localized Paramatma. But actually, the absolute truth, absolute person is Krishna. Matta parataro nasti, Krishna says. There is no more superior truth above. So you realize the absolute truth in different stages. In the beginning, as impersonal Brahma. Impersonal Brahma. It's like you realize the sun as impersonal sunlight. Then localized sun glow. But if you are able to enter into the sun glow, then you see the sun God. It is up to your power, but actually from the person, sun God, the light is coming. This is practice. The sun God, within the sun glow, there is sun God, Vivasham. He is a person, Surjanara. And there are persons also in that glow. They are living in the Surya Loka. Similarly, there are persons in the Chandra Loka. I do not know which Chandra Loka these people are going. They find no person there. But they say that one side is dark. Whether this one side is dark for them, in that side there may be. Anyway. So, yes, then go on.
Generally, people have many wrong conceptions about both of them. The wrong conception of the Jivatma is to identify the material body with the pure soul, and the wrong conception of Paramatma is to think him on an equal level with the living entity. But both misconceptions can be removed by one stroke of Bhakti Yoga, just as in the sunlight, both the sun and the world and everything within the sunlight are properly seen. In the darkness, no one can see the sun, nor himself, nor the world. But in the sunlight, one can see the sun, himself, and the world around him. Srila Shukadeva Goswami therefore says that for purification of both wrong conceptions, the Lord presented his eternal form before Brahmaji, being fully satisfied by Brahma's non-deceptive vow of discharging Bhakti Yoga.
That is clearly said in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, if you want to know me, then you have to accept the Bhakti Yoga, no other means. Because without full surrender unto Krishna, nobody can know him. There is even a very important man in this world. You cannot know him by challenge, but if you surrender, it is possible to know him. Bhakti Yoga therefore requires little tapasya, not plaything. Tapasya, that we are addicted to so many sinful activities, we must give it up. That is tapasya. We must observe fasting on Ekadashi day, our Lord's birthday. These are tapasya. If we do not, we must chant 16 rounds. We must observe the rules and regulations. This is tapasya. Don't make God very cheap thing. It is very cheap thing. No. It has been made very easy for the Kali Yuga people because they cannot undergo any kind of tapasya. There is simple tapasya. You chant 60 now. Don't take this, don't do this. 4 items. Take prasada. Don't take anything. So nothing is strong. A little regulated. This much if we do not do, then how we can expect to see God and understand God? Tapo divyam. Simply we remain like hogs and cats and dogs, then how it is possible to realize God? Param pavitram. If I do not become pavitra myself, pure, how I can see the Supreme pure? This is impossible. Tapasya must be there. But for this age, this tapasya has been minimized. Brahma is the most important person within this universe. He underwent tapasya for 100 years. Then he could see God and realize God. So you cannot go such a tapasya, undergo such tapasya. That is not possible in this age. He has simply asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very kindly. He is God. He is giving his own prescription. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Iva Kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Nasti. Simply chant. Because in this age it is very difficult. Every process, the yoga system, that is also tapasya. The jnana system, that is also tapasya. Karma system also, that is also great tapasya. Karma means not working hard in the factory like cats and dogs. No, that is not karma. Karma means to perform the ritualistic ceremonies, big jaggas, sacrifices. That is karma. So where is your money? You cannot provide your food even for 2 meals. That is the position. For 2 meals only, people are going. 20 miles. You see? 50 miles, 60 miles, 40 miles, that is common. They are sometimes coming from 120 miles in train. And I have seen in Canada, they are going by plane from Vancouver to Montreal or something like that. That's very business. Similarly, in your country also, there are many men coming daily. Los Angeles has 500 miles by plane. Yes. This is your civilization. For 2 meals only, you have to make so much tapasya. 50 miles, 100 miles, 500 miles, go and come back. There is a story that one gentleman, he was coming to Calcutta early in the morning because he has to go 100 miles. So to catch the first train at 6 o'clock, then he reach at 9 o'clock in city. Then he can attend office at 10 o'clock. So, and again going back, the office hour is finished at 5 o'clock. He was to go to home at 10 o'clock. But still he will go for sleeping for 6 hours. The whole day and night is engaged for earning to me. So they will undergo so much tapasya only for 2 meals, which is obtained very easily by the cats and dogs, but they are not prepared to undergo any tapasya for understanding God. This is it. For meals, the birds, bees, they are not going to office. There are 8,400,000 forms of life. Only the civilized form of the so-called civilized men, they are undergoing so much trouble for their meals. But others, they are not going 50 miles. They have got ready food. They say, sit down on any tree, there are enough fruits, little eating, finish their business. Or take the elephants also, they are eating so much, they have got some food. That what Shastra says, that food is already there. So many people say, oh, so many people are dying, starving. You wonder, where is the man? Show me who is dying. But starvation. These are all pleas. They won't take any tapasya for understanding, but they will work hard like asses, like hogs and dogs for 2 meals. But we should consider that we are taking so much penance for simply filling our this hungry belly, appetite. Why not little tapasya for Krishna? Chanting 16 rounds. But with that, that is very difficult. Then, tapasya, penance, in pure bhakti.
The form of the Lord which was manifested before Brahma
Intelligence, that our form we change or we die. Krishna never died. Krishna never died. The evidence of death is, it's like in our past life we had some body and we died, we have got another body. Krishna does not die means he does not change his body. Sambhamami atmamaya. If he would have died, then he could not recollect in his mind the incident which happened millions of years ago. He says, Vivasa Praktavanaham Abhyam Vivasan Manavetra. When Arjuna inquired, did you say that you instructed this Bhagavad Gita, this son, to Vivasa, long, millions of years? How can I believe it? Therefore said, I remember it. You don't remember. Therefore I do not die. You die. This is it. One who can remember, he does not die. Just like so long I can remember of my childhood activities, boyhood activities, I am not dead. Is it not? Although the body is gone. This is the evidence that Krishna does not die. Try to understand this part. Death means forgetting everything. That is death. But if you can remember, that is not death. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes. So, I change my body, but I remember that I was a child, I was a boy, I was playing like this, I was doing like this, my mother was chastising me like this. Therefore I am not dead. But the body is gone. So, this is the distinction between death and life. If you can remember, then you have not died. And if you forget, that is death. But the Atma is permanent, eternal. So Krishna does not die. Otherwise, how he could remember? This is the reason. You try to understand all this reasoning. You have to preach. This is the reason. Because Krishna says that I remember everything, therefore Krishna does not die. Is it established or not? Yes. My personal example, because I remember all my childhood, boyhood activities, therefore I am not dead. Nobody says that you are dead man, although my body is changed. Because I can remember. And as soon as I shall forget, that is dead. Then one heart and one spoke. Sri Vishnu's smarane, Sravane Parikrit. Parikrit Maharaj sat down. He did not do anything. He simply heard about Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, Krishna activity. The Sri Vishnu Sravane, simply by hearing. Parikrit attained perfection. Avavad Vaiyasaki Kirtane. Vaiyasiki means Sukadeva Goswami. Kirtan, he simply narrated. He also did. Therefore, Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam. There are 9 different processes of bhakti. Any one of them you adopt, you become perfect. Not that you have to adopt 9. If you can, it is very nice. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. If you adopt only one, you become perfect. You don't do anything. Simply hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a realized soul, you will become perfect. So, Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandana. If you simply worship the deity in regulative form, you become perfect. This is Archanam. Savanam. So, all the methods are there. You adopt any one of them, you become perfect. Simply offer prayer, you become perfect. Vandhanam. You simply walk. You simply watch this temple and sweep this temple regularly with heart and soul. You become perfect. You don't require him to read. Dasyam. Dasyam means simply work as menial servant of Krishna. Dasyam. Sakhyam. Arjuna. Just like Arjuna. He made simple friendship with Krishna. In friendship, so many insulting words are used also. Savanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Bandhanam Das Sakham Atma Nivedana. So any one of them you adopt, you become perfect. So the best thing is Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. If you hear Bhagavat, this Bhagavat is written for hearing, discussing. Otherwise, why you are taking so much pain? So, here it is said that both Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj attained perfection through the medium of Srimad Bhagavatam. So any question?
You said that a person progresses through the 3 levels of God realization, from Brahman realization. Is that true also for a Vaishnava? Does he first attain Brahman realization and then Paramatma, or does he go
Vaishnava immediately give him lift to the Supreme Person. And because he understands Supreme Person, automatically understands what is Paramatma, what is. Others, they go step by step. But Vaishnava is given immediate lift. Just like somebody is earning money, $10, $15, $20, and he's thinking of accumulating money, 100,000. So if somebody gives it, immediately 100,000. Take it. Then $10, $15, $20, $100, $1,000 are always. Jasmin vijñāte sarvamedam vijñātam bhavanti. If you simply try to understand Krishna, then you understand it. That Krishna says, Brahmanaham pratishtha. The impersonal Brahma is resting upon me. They immediately understand what is impersonal Brahma. Just Prabhupada, it is the effulgence of Krishna's body. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddhese vajjalatistati. You understand, oh, Krishna resides in everyone's heart, and that is Paramatma. So immediately understand what is Paramatma, immediately understand what is Brahma.
Because it's a gradual process.
The gradual process for the others, not for the devotees. devotee is given immediately, and that also in a simple way, in his form of name, Namarupe. You simply chant Hare Krishna. The devotee's privilege is so much, especially in this age, that you take God, the Supreme, Absolute Truth, by chanting Hare Krishna. If you do it properly, then everything is done. We are given the thing immediately, but it may take some time. That is gradual, that is another thing. And for others, those who are trying to know the absolute truth by their own effort, for them first realization is Brahma. The next realization is Paramatma. And if they can surpass these two realizations, then someday they may become fortunate to understand what is the Supreme Person.
Yeah, we remember like when we were in the room of our mother, we can remember some things like when we were children. We have no memories when we were.
Why aren't we able to recall when we were in the womb?
The room?
The womb of the mother.
What is to be done in the mother's womb? What is to be done? What is this question? I cannot know.
She wants to know why we can't remember that. Why I can't remember when I was in the womb.
You cannot remember so many things.
But you said that when we change bodies, we forget everything. That after death, but I don't understand.
Change body, just like you have changed your body from the body of the womb and at the present moment, but you don't remember all the incidences that have happened. So, sometimes we remember, sometimes we do not remember. Like that. But generally, if we remember during lifetime, but we forget also. Even if we forget, that does not mean I am dead. Forgetfulness is explained Maya. We forget Krishna, we forget that I am part and parcel of Krishna by forgetfulness. That is explained, what is that? Atma Maya Mriteraja. Atma Maya, it is an illusion. That forgetful, actually there is no forgetfulness. But I should not forget. But because I am illusion, that's why I forget. Because I forget means I am illusion, Atma Maya. Influenced by the modes of material. The one who is more influenced by the modes of material nature, they forget. Just like you are worshipping Krishna, but others, they are not worshipping. They are to be awakened to Krishna consciousness. That means, it does not mean they are actually separate from Krishna. They have to be awakened. There's a man, he's not dead. He's sleeping, but he has to be awakened. As soon as he is awakened, he remembers everything. This is called Swapnathitanya. I am sleeping, forgetting everything. I am in a different place. But as soon as I am awakened, I remember, oh, let me go. I have to do this, I have to go there, I have to do. So this forgetfulness is a temporary illusion. Actually you don't forget. It is temporary apamayarita. It is only It is an action of God's external energy. Because I wanted to forget Krishna, therefore Krishna has helped me in forgetting him by his own illusory energy. Have some kirtan.
Hare Krishna.